I need my cards. Can't do much without those. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I am so freaking excited because we are going to be kicking back off Deck of Panning for 2022. I had so much fun with this project last year that I knew I had to get back on board this year. So if this is your first time tuning in, hi, welcome. And if this is your first time discovering Deck of Panning, you're in for a wild ride. So this was a project that was created by Emily. Her channel is Emily and Max. It will be linked in the description box below. But she actually got the idea from a booktuber by the name of Books with Maddie. I will make sure she's linked down below as well. But this is adapted from her TBR game, To Be Read game, which helped her kind of decide what to read next, what to cycle through, and to really kind of help prompt her to maybe pick up books that she maybe wouldn't have ordinarily from her collection. Like obviously she wanted to read them because she owned them, but you know, sometimes we get into the same sort of ruts and habits and things like that. So this was, she designed to help kind of mix it up a little bit, which makes perfect sense for the panning community because that's exactly what we do. We buy things, we like them, but then we end up in our ruts and things end up kind of getting pushed into the back corners. So here we have a fun game. So this is a roulette style project pan. However, there is the added fun twist of a game board that Emily does update every single month. So we draw a card that corresponds to a space and a prompt. But because she updates it every month, you could draw the same card next month and get a totally different prompt. Super, super fun. I will make sure to link her how-to video in the description box below. It is already up at this point. She did a how-to video in 2021 when the project originated. She has done an updated how-to for 2022 because the game board has had a little bit of a zhuzhing. We've kind of updated a little bit and I'm excited. So, as always, we have my super fun Harry Potter playing cards because I love them. And both of my jokers are still in this deck. When it comes to this project, the joker, you're supposed to keep one of them in there because it does correspond to a prompt. However, I'm a big old nerd and the Harry Potter cards that I have, the jokers are the different aspects of the Marauders map, and I just couldn't split them up. I couldn't decide which one to keep and which one not to, so I'm a glutton for punishment. I have them both in here. So this is, as I said, a roulette style game, and it does start with 6 prompts, I think. Ooh, I can't remember. I might be doing it wrong. Okay, we're gonna start with 6. So I'm gonna draw 6 cards and then let you know what they correspond with. I have already shuffled, but we'll go ahead and shuffle again for good measure. And then we'll get to picking. Whoops, those did not line up. All right, so we have a 10 of hearts. We have an ace of spades. That is actually one of the areas that was updated on the game board. Last year, all of the face cards were exactly the same every single round, every single month. This time they've kind of been mixed up a little bit. Okay. We have the 5 of spades. We have the Jack of, I'm getting a lot of spades here. I don't know what that means. You know, I think maybe it's 5. Let me check the rules real quick. We'll draw one more card. And the Queen of Hearts. Let's see. Let me check the rules real quick. Haha, it is 5. I nearly messed myself up. Okay, so let's talk about what these cards correspond to. So we'll start with the 10 of Hearts, since that's the first one that I drew. And this corresponds to the prompt, your birthstone. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. I'm a June baby, Gemini. All right, the next one that I got was the Ace of Spades. And for that, all right, add another product. Okay, so that means that I not only have to redraw for this card, but I have to draw another one. Okay. All right, so to replace that card, we have the 3 of Clubs that I just stuck back in my deck. Why did I do that? All right, let's go ahead and shuffle again. All right, this is the 3 of Clubs. So there is, I now have 6 products. Okay. So the next, well, let's just go ahead with what I drew there, make it a little bit easier. So the first one that came up was the 3 of Clubs, and that corresponds to a cream product. And then the 3 of Spades, balancing act. What does that mean? A product that gives too much or too little. Interesting, interesting. Okay. And then we have the 5 of Spades. That corresponds to concealer. Love me some concealer. The Jack of the Jack of Spades is random color generator. We'll come back to that. And then the Queen of Hearts is Project Graveyard. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the random color generator. Let me pull up a new tab on my phone. This is the same one that I used last time. Okay, so let's do this together. We're gonna, there we go. Ooh, this sort of really plummy purple, super fun. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead, pick some products, and then we'll be back to talk all about it. All right, we're back, and I'm not gonna lie, some of these prompts were very, very easy, and others were quite challenging. So let's talk about what I drew and what products I chose for them and what my goals are. And the first card was the 10 of Hearts, and that correlated to birthstone. Now, as I mentioned, I am a June baby, so my birthstones are Pearl, Alexandrite, and Moonstone. And I went with, of course, my Becca highlighter in the shade Moonstone. So this is what it looks like. This is just a mini. Has been used, but not overly much. This is a very, very light highlighter, which, I mean, I'm super fair as it is. And I have Pearl. Pearl is just too light. It doesn't look nice on me, but this has just a very beautiful, kind of lit from within. I realize a lot of people don't like that terminology, but it just really is. It's a very subtle, soft highlighter, which is exactly what I'm into these days. I am just not gravitating towards super metallic, super blingy highlights. I like something just really soft, especially on days when I'm not doing a full, like, glamorous look. I always tell myself I'm gonna do something light and natural, but stuff like this evolves. But I want to be very ambitious with this right here, and I love to hit pan on it. Now is the time of year to do it because it is winter time. I mean, I don't have a lot of color to me normally, but this could get a little bit light over the summer if I were to get any sort of tan. So I would like to try to hit pan on it. The next card that I have is going to be the 3 of Clubs. The 3 of Clubs is a cream product, and for that I chose this little guy right here. This is just a mini of the NARS Laguna, like, lip balm thing. I don't have a lot left in here. I've been using this like crazy, but I do want to go ahead and get it finished off to get another lip balm out of my collection. So I do want to use this up entirely. I also pulled the 3 of spades. This was a very difficult one. Balancing act was a hard idea for me to kind of get my head around. I did end up going with a blush. So this is from the brand Note. I assume that's how it's pronounced. This is their Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in the shade 05 Desert Rose. This came in BoxyCharm, I'm sure, but this is a very, very intense and very pigmented blush. I've used it just a couple of times and it is not for the faint of heart. Yeah, it's easy to go overboard on it. So that is what it looks like. It's pretty. It's very pretty, and it's the kind of color that I typically do gravitate towards. It's just a tiniest bit goes a long way, and it's very easy to put on too much. So I'm gonna put a smaller goal on this because I am working on another blush in another project as well that has a pretty high goal. So I think I'm gonna put this at 30 uses. So it'll be around for a little while, but hopefully not for the entirety of the year. So that is what we're going to do there. The next one that I chose was a 5 of spades, and that is for the prompt concealer. Now, I do already have a concealer going in another project, and if you happened to catch my inventory video where I talked about my concealers, you will know that almost all of my concealers are pretty close to being brand new. I bought a ton of them in 2021. I had an idea to do a battle style video that never happened, and so I have a lot of brand new ones. So I did bring in this one right here. This is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I do not want to use this all up. I think that that is too much, especially with everything else that's going on. But I think I want to try to use up until I get to right where it has the word serum. So the way that I typically use this, because this is too dark to go with most of my foundations. However, if I take just one pump of it, I can spread it out over the entirety of my face, and it just really gives it this beautiful perfected look. Take a little bit of powder foundation over the top very lightly, and it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. So I don't know how long it will take me to get to that point, but that is what I want to do. The next prompt was random color generator. And again, this one was a challenging one. So let me go ahead and bring up, this is what the color was. And I went with a palette. So that seemed like kind of the closest. I mean, especially on camera, those look pretty spot on. So I want to use this baby. Ooh, what do I want to do? I'm going to use this 25 times, and I want to use every shade at least once. And I feel like that will be a rather attainable goal, because I've honestly been really on the day-to-day gravitating towards very, very neutral eye looks. I mean, you can't tell from this beautiful purple and pink look that I'm wearing right now, but I just really have been gravitating very strongly towards more neutral, kind of easy looks. And also, I am going to be getting back in to pan those eyeshadows. So once I do that, I feel like no matter what I pull in that project, something in this will go nicely with it. So I feel like this will be a good accompaniment to whatever the future may hold for me. So 25 uses on that palette there, and using every shadow at least once. And that brings us to the final card that I drew, because I drew a billion of them. I have the Queen of Hearts, which is a graveyard item. And I pulled in this right here. This is from Makeup Forever. This is their Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the Smoothing Primer line. I had this in another project last year. It might have been Partners in Cream. I don't recall. I mean, that's what makes sense. But I didn't finish it up because it texturally was far too similar to the SPF that I was using at the time. I have since finished that, and now I want to finish this. So my goal for this is to use it up in its entirety and to get it done and dusted. So that is where we are. I apologize if this was incredibly rambly and kind of all over the place. I have not filmed in quite a while. It took me so long to do my inventory, and it went up for an entire week, so I'm really kind of off off my game when it comes to filming. But I hope that you have enjoyed this intro, and I hope that you will stick around and hang out with me for the entirety of this project. But also, check out the description box below. Make sure you check out Emily, make sure you check out Maddie, make sure you check out everybody else that is working on this project. And certainly, if this is something that you feel like you would have fun doing, please join us. Please join us. It is a really fun project. It is open to everybody. We have monthly updates. Definitely join the party. As always, everything that I'm working on, as well as everything that I'm wearing, will be linked in the description box below. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.